Lump sum versus pension. Updated 2023. This is huge. Huge, huge, huge. Your pension just looked a whole lot better now, man. Let me show you. This is huge. So make sure you understand before you make a horrible mistake. All right. Part 2 of this is don't be sitting there saying, oh my goodness, this is all bad, because it's good if you look at it correctly. Part 3, of course, is share the video if you know someone who's going to look at this lump sum versus pension. And part 4 is subscribe to Locals. We're going live on Locals at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday, which is today, and every Friday there on after. So subscribe, and of course, subscribe to my email list as well. All right, so my man Johnny Rotten Reno said, so this is a video I did the other day, the most important story if you were talking about it. My views, I didn't get a huge amount of views on that thing. Yeah, well, 6.5. Well, that's pretty good, actually. Okay, good. All right, Johnny Rotten Reno says, the most important story to me right now is I did a yearly pension estimate adjustment, and my pension has decreased by 25%. No, it has not. A 6-figure loss in retirement funds for me. No, it has not. I've heard this is somewhat universal among corporations with pension plans right now. What I don't understand is how the current economic conditions will equate to a 25% drop in value in 1 year. All right, so he's making a horrible mistake. Don't make this mistake. Let's see what some of the other comments people write about here. Josh explained pensions during his live stream. Exactly. Yep, exactly. Did Johnny Rotten... All right. So here's Johnny Rotten Reno's. All right. So it's sad, man. All right. So let's go into this. All right. So what happens with a pension and a lump sum? The corporation says we're going to pay Johnny Reno $3,000 a month. All right. So we're going to start. We're going to pay him $3,000 a month. That's 36,000 years. Make this simplicity. Over his life, and his life could be 90 years, it could be 70 years, it doesn't matter, because what happens to an annuity, a pension, is it's based on the people who die early are subsidizing the people who die later. It's no different than Social Security. All right, so the government isn't getting your money if you die early from Social Security. It's being used to pay the benefits to the people who died later. And some people get really upset, like, well, that's not fair. It's just the actuarial tables, man. It's just the numbers. If you die at 70, well, you're dead. You don't care about your Social Security anymore. But the guy who's living until 90, he cares. And so the money you do not receive goes to him. Try to do a video, baby. Oh, boy. Someone was scratching McGee over there. All right, so they're saying, all right, how much does it cost for us in a lump sum to give Johnny Reno $3,000 a month? All right, so $3,000 a month is 36 years. 36,000 a year. And we're going to do a life expectancy for simplicity of 25 years. All right. So 25 years life expectancy. And we got to pay Johnny Reno $3,000 a month for those 25 years. All right. So they say, how much do we need? And they look at how much they got to invest in which to get that 36,000 a year for those 25 years. And we're going to use 3 different interest rates. So we'll start with 5%. And we just take our trusty financial calculator and we say, okay. So if we have a 5% interest rate, so we just literally take 5% as our interest rate, and then we have 25 years, 25N, we got 36,000 years our payment, and we have a 0 future value, all right? Because when Johnny's dead, there's no more, they don't have to pay anymore. How much do we need to put in a lump sum to cover that 25 years? And you hit compute. Present value, $507,000. All right, so $507,000 what they have to put in the lump sum in order to give him 36,000 a year over his life expectancy. If the interest rates drop to 3%, I guarantee you have to put more than $500,000 in. 3% is the interest. You have to put in $626,000. If interest rates go to 7%, I guarantee you have to put less in than the 5. 419. All right. So what happens here is these are at a 3% interest rate. The company has to put into a lump sum $626,000. At a 5% interest rate, they have to put in $507,000. At a 7% interest rate, they have to put in $419,000. So Johnny is looking at it wrong. He's saying my pension has dropped. No, it has not, because it's still getting this $36,000 a year. He's still getting that. The pension hasn't dropped at all. The lump sum has dropped because the interest rates have gone up, which means the company has less to contribute to the lump sum. It's just that simple. All right, so now what we do is we say, okay, let's say it's $36,000 a year. I'm just literally pulling these numbers out of the air. $36,000 a year. Let's say it used to be $626,000 bucks. So we take, that was what the lump sum would be. So we take 36,000 divided by 626, and that gives us a 5.7% payout. So we come down here. Actually, let me just do this. 5.7%. All right. So when the interest rates were 3%, and he would get $36,000 a year, or he could take a lump sum of $626,000. Well, he's getting less than 6%, so my inclination would probably be to take the lump sum, not the annuity, because he's getting $36,000 a year or $626,000 as a lump sum. In that case, he's only getting a 5.7% payout on an annual basis. All right. Again, the payout ratio is not an interest rate. It's not a dividend yield. It's actually how much money you're getting relative to the lump sum. And if it's less than 6%, I'm typically not all that impressed. All right, but now 36,000 on 507, so 36 divided by 507, that's a 7.1% payout ratio. And that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. Because he's 36,000 bucks divided into 500,000 bucks, he's now getting 7.1% as a payout rate. Anything over 7 is a no-brainer in my opinion. Lastly, at 7%, 36 divided by 419, it's an 8.6 payout. I mean, so basically, if Johnny, if he was in the bottom two and he didn't take it, I don't understand that, man. I don't understand that. All right, so what happened here? I was working with a guy the other day who was going through this exact same thing. I said, dude, you got to take your pension. It's a no-brainer, because now he was getting like 8.5% payout rate. So you're looking at it wrong. Your lump sum has dropped, but your pension has not. Your pension is actually much more valuable than what it was, because you have less money to compare it to. You're not going to get the same lump sum, but you are going to get the same pension. So basically one thing fell, the other thing stayed flat. Inherently, the thing that stayed flat is worth more. Now, Johnny, unfortunately, makes a mistake many people do. He says, I would never consider taking an annuity. There's no inflation rate adjustment to that. Every year the checks are worth less. See, Johnny is falling for the inflation myth, which is sad. If I was to start an annuity at 55 and live until I just 85, that's 30%, 30 years of inflation eating away at the annuity checks. All right, so what Johnny doesn't understand, he's assuming his investments will do better than inflation. And look, if you want to make that assumption, that's fine. I'm not going to make it. You could. A whole lot more risk. The investments last year certainly didn't do better than inflation because investments were down friggin' 20%. What's to say that can't happen again? Johnny's making a fundamental mistake here. His annuities, his pension is much more valuable than what it was. So not only is Johnny going to roll this money out because he's worried about the inflation risk, he thinks his investments will mitigate the inflation risk. And the evidence of that is sparse. I mean, it could, absolutely. But then what is inflation? How are you measuring inflation, Johnny? You see what I'm saying? He's making a horrible mistake. And so, he could live to tell the story. He might. If he did in 1982, he's loving life. If he did in 2000, he's not loving life, especially if he's pulling money out. Now, if he doesn't have any more money, if that's all he's got, yeah, maybe. Could he do half and half? I don't know. But if you have other monies, then not taking the pension is crazy, in my opinion. The annuity, dumb. Don't be dumb. Now, if that's all you got, yeah, I get it. Or you can split the difference. Say if I got $500,000, I'll take 250 and I'll put 250 investments. But I tell you, man, it's a horrible mistake. The tragedy of unending proportions. If everyone takes a 25% discount on their lump sum and avoids the annuity because, oh my goodness, inflation. It's just crazy. It's kind of like the people say, like where was I watching here? I was on BitChute, and we'll see if I can't find this. Hold on just a second. I want to, hold on a second, see if I can't find this, because I was like, dude, yeah, that's not going to show you. But so if you go, hold on, let me pause this. I'm not going to find it, but there's an ad that says, protect your retirement from Biden inflation. And Stu Peters is the spokesperson for goldbugs.com or whatever it is. I'm like, so gold is a protection against Biden inflation, huh? Okay. Anyway, whatever. He can do whatever he wants with his money. I don't care. If you're watching this video, I hope you think otherwise, because this could be a mistake that you'll never get again. You can't. If you think it out, that's fine. I get it. But if you're falling for the inflation fear mongers and you're falling for the idea that my lump sum will beat inflation and provide me a steady paycheck relative to an 8% payout rate on your pension, that's all right. Love your thoughts. We'll see ya.